Hello, in this video I'll show you how to make super juicy and tender oven roasted chicken. This is slightly different than my prior oven roasted chicken recipe in that the goal of this one is juicy and moist chicken rather than chicken with crispy skin. I use a whole chicken, normally anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds in size. I start by removing any of the feathers that are still stuck on the skin, and then I trim away some extra skin and fat from the exterior cavity. Trimming this away will allow for better airflow while the chicken is cooking. Then I remove any of the organs that are still inside the chicken. Finally, I remove the top couple of vertebrae from the chicken neck. I find that removing this helps make sure that the cavity is open through and through and again allows for better airflow. This lets the chicken cook more evenly. After this, I like to rinse the inside of the chicken out. I drain any water out of the chicken and then I pat the top and the bottom dry with a paper towel. It's important for the chicken to be dry so that the butter and the oil that we'll use to coat the chicken won't simply slide off the skin. To flavor the chicken, I combine 1 stick of butter with various seasonings. I use different seasonings depending on what I'm going to use the chicken for. In this case, I served the chicken over vegetables, and then all of the leftovers I shredded and used in chicken pot pie. So for this, I seasoned the butter with thyme, oregano, nutmeg, fresh cracked black pepper, and salt. Then I mixed everything together until it was evenly incorporated. I put the flavored butter directly on the meat of the chicken and underneath the skin. To do this, I first have to pull the skin away from the meat. I used my hand to loosen the skin off of the meat so the butter will go into place easier. I'm careful not to tear the skin of the chicken because it will help lock in the moisture from the butter. Once the skin is loosened, I slide the butter between the skin and the meat. I try to use about half of the butter for the top of the bird and about half of the butter for the back. I place the butter towards the center of the chicken, and then I press on the skin to move the butter around so that it's evenly distributed across the surface of the meat. Then I tie the chicken legs together using kitchen twine that I've soaked in water first. I soak it in water so it won't burn in the oven. I place the chicken in the roasting rack breast side up so I can drizzle the skin in oil. I make sure the oil is evenly covering the skin, and then I flip the chicken over so the back is facing up. Then I coat the back of the chicken in oil too. I cook the chicken at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for half the time with the back facing up and for half the time with the breast facing up. This should cook 20 to 25 minutes per pound of chicken. Once done, the white meat should read 165 degrees Fahrenheit and the dark meat should read 175 degrees Fahrenheit. The chicken is fully cooked at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, but allowing the dark meat to cook to 175 degrees Fahrenheit will allow the collagen in the dark meat to break down. Collagen is really tough to chew through, so letting the collagen break down is going to result in a really tender chicken. We cook the chicken at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for the entire baking time to allow for a slower temperature rise and less moisture loss. This is different than chicken I bake to get a crispy skin, where I bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I temperature check the chicken in the thickest part of the white meat and of the dark meat. Once it's within 5 degrees of its doneness temperature, I cover the chicken in foil and let it rest for 20 minutes. Covering the chicken in foil and letting it rest before we cut into it are integral pieces of making sure that we have a really juicy, moist chicken. After the chicken is rested, you can carve into it and serve it up for dinner, or let it continue to cool and shred the chicken. Thanks for watching this video on how to make juicy and tender roasted chicken. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and as always, like and subscribe to see more content.